It's time for GMA3. Michael Jackson's daughter slamming the executors of his multi-billion-dollar estate, why Paris Jackson is accusing them of abusing their roles, and her concern about the upcoming biopic about the King of Pop. It was the interview that changed the monarchy.
Well, there were 3 of us in this marriage, so it was a bit crowded.
Princess Diana sitting down with the BBC's Martin Bashir.
What impact do you think this interview has had on William and Harry?
Now, a new book details the extent of Bashir's deception.
Mamma mia, here I go again.
And here we go again.
Honey, honey, how you thrill me. Honey, honey.
Amanda Seyfried giving fans an update on Mamma Mia 3, her star-studded dream cast, and what we know about the new installment. GMA3 starts right now.
From ABC News headquarters in New York City, this is GMA3.
You know, you strike me as a Mamma Mia fan, Whit.
Oh, of course. Yes, I know all the songs by heart.
And the choreography, too.
Yeah.
Happy Thursday. I'm Maggie Rulli.
And I'm Juju Chang, waiting for Whit to start dancing. So glad that you could join us this Thursday.
There's plenty of time left in the show. We'll see where we go. We got a really exciting show coming up here. Sebastian Maniscalco is fresh off his record-breaking It Ain't Right tour, selling out arenas across the country. He's going to tell us about his new comedy special and the night Jerry Seinfeld opened up for him at Madison Square Garden.
Wow, also ahead, the new study about how exercise starting in midlife can help lower the risk of Alzheimer's and dementia. Dr. Narul is here to break this down for us.
Such important information, but we're going to begin with the explosive new court filings by Michael Jackson's daughter over her father's massive estate. Paris Jackson claiming the estate executors are abusing their roles. Chief National Correspondent Matt Gutman is in L.A. with more. Hey, Matt.
Hey, Juju, it's the job of estate lawyers to put the interests of the estate's beneficiaries first. But Paris Jackson says that's not what the executors of her father, Michael Jackson's estate, have been doing. In that new filing, she's now saying she's, quote, increasingly concerned that they're not trying to maintain and build the estate. They're trying to line their own pockets. The King of Pop's only daughter waging war against the handlers of her father's multi-billion-dollar estate. In newly filed court documents, Paris Jackson accusing John Branca and John McClane of abusing their roles as executors in order to line their own pockets, paying themselves irregular premium payments and unexplained bonuses. The 27-year-old Jackson alleging the men paid themselves nearly $150 million over the course of 12 years, taking home more than $10 million in 2021 alone. Paris says that figure is more than double of what any member of the Jackson family actually received.
The estate is required to file a yearly accounting explaining where the money is invested, how they've invested it, and what they've spent money on. The estate has not filed an accounting since 2021, and Paris Jackson has a lot of problems with their accounting. She's going to need to go to trial and produce evidence that shows that all these wrongdoings in financial matters have actually been completed.
A source close to the estate telling ABC News, the fact is Paris's lawyers lost against the estate and have been ordered to pay the estate's attorney's fees, adding that all the beneficiaries are well taken care of. The estate also previously disclosing that Paris has received $65 million in addition to the $2 billion estate she will inherit alongside her brothers Prince and BG.
I know you've been waiting a long time for this.
Another point of contention for Paris, the upcoming biopic about her father, entitled simply Michael.
Can you lower the lights for me, please?
Lawyers for Paris pointing out that Miles Teller is the only A-list actor in the film, playing none other than John Branca, who, as executive producer, had a hand in casting himself. Now, Paris Jackson is also taking a swing at the way she says the estate has been invested, including accusing the lawyers who run the estate of sitting on a $400 million pile of cash instead of properly investing it, which the estate executors dispute. Now, each of Jackson's kids are expected to get their full inheritance of his estimated $2 billion estate when they reach a certain age threshold. But, guys, that's years away.
All right, we'll be watching Matt Gutman for us. We appreciate it. Now to a GMA consumer alert with scams costing Americans billions of dollars a year. One insurance company is now offering policies to protect people who fall victim. Elizabeth Schulze is here to tell us more. Good to have you.
Good to be here with you guys. So this really shows how prevalent and costly scams are for so many Americans. The insurer Allstate is announcing a first-of-its-kind type of scam insurance policy. So how this works is Allstate will reimburse you up to $50,000 per year If you lose money to a scam, you can file unlimited claims. So that could include cryptocurrency scams or phishing texts or emails. You can check if this is available through your employer's benefits package. And this policy actually applies to everyone in your family, including seniors over the age of 65, even if they don't live with you.
Yeah, it's amazing how these policies are evolving given how many scams there are now. What types of scams are people typically falling for this time of year?
So typically we do see a spike in scams around the holiday shopping season. So according to Visa, some of the top ones are extra cash job scams. So that's when you get a text for a fake job. It's basically promising you hundreds of dollars for just a couple hours work. Not a real thing. Package delivery scams. So scammers send you a text. They say there's a delivery issue with your order. And then when you click on the link, they steal your personal data. So really just don't click on those unknown links. And then the top scam is fake shopping sites. So this is when a website is designed to look like an actual retailer. But when you look really closely, something's just a little bit off there. You really want to double check those URL links. And then this is when I don't think people really want to hear this, but you know when you go to checkout in your cart and it says save my payment info, like in your browser on your phone or computer?
Well, don't tell me.
It's actually recommended you don't do
Stop.
that.
Yeah. It's so easy.
It's easy.
We
it's
do it all the
convenient.
time.
I know.
Yeah.
But it does keep your information safer if you don't.
Very important info.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. Good to see you.
All right, now to GMA Strong and the mission to feed families in crisis. We're shining a spotlight on a food pantry in Georgia that's helping out neighbors in need just in time for Thanksgiving. Our senior national correspondent, Steve Osunsami, is there. And Steve, it sounds like donations are still coming in today.
That's right. You know, after we were on the air today, a Dr. John C. Lippman, have to give him a shout out of the Atlanta Fibroid Center, came in and donated $25,000 to Must Ministries, which is where we're at now, the food pantry north of Atlanta in Marietta, Georgia. That is a lot of money. It's going to go a long way. They tell us that just $100, they can feed 10 people with that, and they prefer donations because they can get more for their dollar in terms of the groceries that they buy. The item, of course, that is flying out of this pantry today are the frozen turkeys as people prepare for Thanksgiving. There's, of course, the stuffing, the green beans, the cornbread, Jiffy cornbread, which is the best cornbread that there is. They also tell us that, you know, they feed normally hundreds of families a day, sometimes 4 tons of food per day. And they tell us that they've seen a 50% increase in the number of people who have come to get food donations. If you would like to help, there is a way. You can go to the QR code at the bottom of your screen or visit our website. Guys, back to you.
Thanks, Steve. Amazing that those donations are still coming in today.
And getting ready for Thanksgiving. That's wonderful.
Coming up, a GMA Health Alert, the effect that exercising later in life could have on your risk for dementia and Alzheimer's. Dr. Narula is here to break down a new study.
And we're back now with the GMA Health Alert, a new study finding that staying active in middle age and beyond can cut your risk of Alzheimer's dramatically. Our chief medical correspondent, Dr. Tara Narula, is here with more on that. Doctor, it's great to see you.
Good to see
This
you.
is so interesting. I think empowering for a lot of people in many ways, taking back some control here. Tell us about the study and what it reveals.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much interest in what else we can do besides take medicines to improve or lower our risk of dementia in the future. And in fact, there was a recent study that showed there's actually 14 lifestyle interventions you can take in terms of risk factors over the course of your life that can reduce dementia by almost half.
Wow.
So this study looked in particular at midlife activity, late life activity, and early life activity. And they looked at about 5,000 individuals. And they found that increased activity in mid and late life actually reduced dementia. So those who did the highest amount of midlife activity reduced their dementia risk by about 41%. Those that did the highest amount in late life reduced it by about 45%. When they looked at the intensity of the activity in midlife, moderate and high intensity seemed to have the best benefit, but in late life, it was really any activity. One interesting thing is that if you were a carrier for the ApoE gene, which we know is a risk factor for dementia, actually those individuals who exercised in late life reduced their risk of dementia by about 66%.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think of it as genetic.
Exactly.
Wow.
Not everything is in the cards.
Right.
And actually early life exercise or activity did not seem to have a correlation with risk of dementia. But all of this, you might be wondering, how could that be? How is it that activity is so beneficial? Well, we know that activity decreases inflammation and stress. It actually might help you grow new blood vessels and new nerves, decrease the amyloid. And so there's lots of ways, and even in blood sugar, and how you metabolize that. So really beneficial.
It's incredible to see the study and see that exercise is medicine. It's having results and impact. I heard you say any activity. So what exactly does this mean? What is anything?
Well, in this study, they really rated it like slight, moderate, and heavy. In clinical practice, we usually tell people to think about moderate or vigorous activity. And a lot of my patients will say, well, what does that actually mean? So moderate is usually when you get your heart rate up to about 50 to 70% of your maximum predicted heart rate, and vigorous is 70 to 88%. But one thing that's easier for people to think about is moderate activity is where you're working out and you're still able to have a conversation with someone. So you're not pushing yourself that hard. So a brisk walk, maybe a bike ride, a light swim. Vigorous is going to be you're a little more out of breath, running, jogging, swimming laps, for example.
And prevention is clearly key. And so what do you recommend?
Yeah, well, you want to think about the amount of time you're doing it. So moderate activity, about 150 minutes a week. Vigorous activity, about 75 minutes per week. And then you want to think about all the other things that are not activity. So, for example, making sure your blood pressure is controlled, your blood sugar, your weight, avoiding smoking, and avoiding alcohol. But a lot of it is in your hands. We say this all the time, no matter how old you are. I mean, mid to late life was like 40s to 80s. So it's never too late to start.
And your point that it's in our hands, that we can actually do something about it. I think a lot of people like to hear that. Thank you, Doctor. As always, we appreciate it. Coming up here, Daniel Craig is ready to solve another murder in the next Knives Out film, and what the director says is in store for the future.
Back now with pop news and Will Gans.
You're slowly making your way closer.
Am I supposed to like join this handshake?
You're always invited. Yes.
Okay, good.
Juju, get in here. Team Pop News. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. All right, we begin Pop News with a tug on our heartstrings, you guys, courtesy of Thomas Bazooka, the writer and director behind The Family Stone, revealing he wants to bring the Stone family back to the big screen in a sequel to the 2005 holiday classic, telling CNN he was already working on a script for the follow-up when he found out about Diane Keaton's passing in October, and now he wants to honor her even more, as well as do it. Yes, I know. Do a good job by the rest of the cast, which includes Sarah Jessica Parker, of course, Dermot Mulroney, Luke Wilson, Rachel McAdams, Claire Danes, and Craig T. Nelson. Bazooka says he's only going to do it, though, if the original cast returns, those folks that I just mentioned. And while nobody has officially signed on, Nelson and Mulroney have both already spoken out in support. But once we get the green light on the sequel, I will let everyone know so they can schedule therapy for immediately after it. Yeah. Exactly. Looking forward to that. Next up, which of these coffee mugs is filled with poison? Not bad, right? Thank you. Or am I just in a Benoit Blanc state of mind because we're less than a week away from the next Knives Out movie hitting theaters? This installment of the whodunit franchise is called Wake Up Dead Man, and we'll see the return of Daniel Craig as Benoit Blanc solving yet another murder. With an all-star cast of suspects, including Josh O'Connor, Glenn Close, Mila Kunis, Jeremy Renner, and Kerry Washington. As for future Knives Out movies, though, writer-director Rian Johnson already brainstorming with Daniel Craig, telling IndieWire he wants Meryl Streep for the fourth installment. Although fans on Twitter have suggested a future Knives Out whodunit where Daniel Craig returns as Benoit Blanc, but everyone else is a Muppet. Sounds kind of amazing. Yes.
Are you the fan?
Oh, yeah. People on Twitter, and it's me. Yeah, exactly. All right, next up for some Super Trooper news for Mamma Mia fans, Amanda Seyfried sharing new details about her dream cast for the third installment in that beloved franchise. Seyfried telling Entertainment Tonight that she wants Sabrina Carpenter to play Sophie's cousin, with Sydney Sweeney showing up in Greece somewhere. While plot details are being kept under wraps, Seyfried has said that she knows the three dads, of course, Pierce Brosnan, Colin Firth, and Stellan Skarsgård, will be back, and Julie Walters and Christine Baranski will be singing and looking hot, as always. ABBA will be playing, and we're all going to be somewhere tropical. Oh, honey, give me more of those details. The last time I was in Greece, which you were there too, was for James Longman's wedding. I did recreate as much of the Mamma Mia movie as I could by myself.
I witnessed it.
Thank you. Yeah.
Whit's a huge fan.
I mean, by the way, when we were playing that music, everyone here on this couch, Whit in particular.
I leave the singing to you, though.
Okay.
Well, it's in the viewer's best interest. Yeah.
All right, you guys, finally get ready for the big cheese on the big screen. One of the country's biggest talent agencies has just signed Hollywood's newest star, and this star is 1,000 years old and not even human. United Talent Agency has signed the governing body for Parmesan cheese to land product placements for the culinary staple in movies, TV, and streaming projects around the world. Specifically, we're talking Parmigiano Reggiano, essentially the champagne of Parmesan cheeses. and it can only be produced in one of 5 Italian provinces.
You did 2 accents today.
I did. Benoit Blanc and Parmigiano Reggiano. Thank you.
And thank you for not actually drinking out of my mug.
Well, I just wanted to make sure there was no poison in your coffee cup.
Appreciate the poison check.
Thank you, Benoit. Thank you, Benoit. All right, coming up, we're one-on-one with Daddy Yankee talking about the Gasolina artist's highly anticipated return to music.
Welcome back to GMA3.
And welcome back, everybody. You know, tomorrow on GMA, we're going to hear from John Tesh, the host and Emmy-winning musician, sharing new details about his health battle, beating stage 3 prostate cancer. He's going to tell us why he believes his wife, Connie Selica's drive to get him the care he needed helped him survive.
Yeah, and Jason Bateman is back in Zootopia 2. His character Nick Wilde getting into trouble again. Jason will tell us all about the sequel and much more.
Plus, holiday cards are a great way to share season's greetings. And we've got Lori Bergamotto, who's joining us with the do's and don'ts of sending those messages of cheer. That's tomorrow. I need it. I have not sent mine.
Yeah, oh yes.
Or made mine or done anything.
Me neither. All right, now to Daddy Yankee's return to music. The artist known for popularizing reggaeton around the world with his breakout hit Gasolina is making a comeback, and he spoke to our Roxy Diaz about the divine reason why.
There are few words to accurately describe the kind of impact this one man has had on an entire culture.
It feels like it was born with a different mission, same genre, but a different purpose.
Daddy Yankee is recognized and revered everywhere he goes.
Hi. We'd love for you to sign this.
Thank you.
Born Ramon Luis Ayala Rodriguez, this is what life has been like for Daddy Yankee for the last 20 years. And that may be why his transformation, his rebirth into what he calls a musician with purpose, has longtime fans and new listeners alike standing at attention.
My purpose is to share my faith with the world.
But the artist he is now couldn't have been without the artist he was. So much of that success, thanks to his smash breakout hit Gasolina, credited for popularizing reggaeton around the world. In December of 2023, he did something unexpected. Daddy Yankee announced his retirement and new dedication to his Christian faith. But the big boss couldn't stay away for long. Empowered by faith, his focus is now sharing the gospel and words of positivity in his newest project, Lamento en Baile. Performing his latest single, Sonríele, at the Billboard's Latin Awards. A lot of us thought that we weren't going to see you hitting that stage again. Was it always your intention to step away and not return to music, or did you know that you were going to return in a different light?
No, actually, my intention was to stop and retire, actually. But I went through a lot in these years that, you know, for some reason, God brought me back with a mission.
Tell me about the album and the different sounds and the thought of saying, oh no, we're not going to just go with one sound.
People thought it was going to be a different sound. When they actually heard the album, they said, okay, we have all the styles, all the flows.
Has it been hard for you in this transition to see some people fade away and not live in this new journey with you?
It's going to be hard when you decide for Jesus. And the word is clear, you know. I just want to share my experience and my faith.
And Daddy Yankee's new album, Lamento en Baile, is out now. Don't miss Roxy's full interview, Daddy Yankee, A Higher Note, tonight at 8:30 p.m. on ABC News Live, Disney Plus, and Hulu.
Now we have a great guest with us right here on the couch, the record-breaking comedian, actor, and podcast host, Sebastian Maniscalco. His brand new comedy special, that's right, Sebastian Maniscalco, It Ain't Right, is getting set to drop. That was authentic. Can I tell you, Sebastian, that when we read your name, everyone in the studio was so excited to have you there.
Pressure is on.
Yeah, it's on. You got to deliver.
All right.
We're ready to laugh.
Great.
Well, we have to also say congratulations on your massive It Ain't Right tour. 5 sold-out shows in Madison Square Garden and a huge guest as well, a special guest, Jerry Seinfeld, at your show. Jerry Seinfeld, what was that
so
like?
I called Seinfeld. I said, listen, it would be an honor if you would come and be a guest on my show at the Garden. He's like, I would love to do it. So he came out and did about 15, 20 minutes, and the crowd absolutely went crazy.
Of course.
So, I mean, if you would have told me Jerry Seinfeld and I would be performing at Madison Square Garden 25 years ago, I would have said you were nuts, but it was a great moment for me in my career.
And you sold out the Garden night after night. It's incredible. You're also, I mean, first of all, you know you've made it big when Saturday Night Live does an entire skit about you.
I guess so. I mean, I've been doing this for 27 years, and I've been getting calls this week. You made it! And I wasn't even on the show.
But they're clearly making fun of your physical comedy, which is so funny.
He did a great job, Marcelo. I'm a big fan of what he's doing. And I'm actually a little upset that they made me that gray. I didn't know that I was that gray, but he did a great job. And yeah, this video has gotten more traction than any video I've ever been in. So I guess it's the way to go. And I'm dying to host Saturday Night. I've never hosted it, so this is my plea to Lauren Michaels. Please have me on the show.
But at the same time, I read that you picked up a lot of the physical humor from John Ritter.
Yeah, John Ritter, huge fan of him and Three's Company. I grew up watching John Ritter like it was game tape. I would come home and really study his movements, and then implement it into my stand-up, because I just think not only does the voice and the verbal matter, but also the body movements adds a little dynamic to a story that I think people enjoy.
And let's talk about that story. The new show, it was actually shot in Chicago at the United Center. Let's go ahead and take a look at a clip.
Let's do it.
I have a mild case of sleep apnea, all right? This is where I'm at. I'm in bed with my wife, and I have to tap her before we go to bed, and I have to ask her, babe, do you need to talk anymore? Because I'm gonna duct tape my mouth shut so I don't pass away in my sleep. If someone came to rob my house, they would look at me and go, someone was already here, let's go.
I think what's so great about your comedy and why it connects with people, this is like stuff that we all go through, right? Like regular things that families and people go through. And you were influenced heavily by your upbringing in Chicago, right?
Yeah.
How did that shape you and your comedy?
So anybody from Chicago, you grow up with a lot of sarcasm, you grow up with a lot of being made fun of, but in a good way. You have like a thick skin when you grow up in Chicago. So even to this day, there's no way I could have a big head going home and visiting my friends, because I'll show up and they're like, what are you wearing? It's very, yeah, it's fun though. We have fun with each other. And I think sarcasm is a lot to do with what I do on stage.
They keep it real.
Yeah, I try.
Is it true you were shy growing up?
Very shy. I actually did not like the class clown. I thought the class clown was extremely annoying.
That's hilarious.
So I was just an observer in the back of the room watching people, and then I would report back to my parents at home what I saw at school, and kind of made fun of the kids at school. So.
You know, Whit pointed it out that your humor really lands because it's stuff we all deal with. But how do you keep getting fresh material? Where do you go?
I gotta live. I gotta live my life. I gotta go to my in-laws for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that'll be a lot of material.
I gotta go to the soccer game at the school. I gotta go to the parent-teacher conference. So that's why what I'm talking about is so relatable, because we're all doing these things as parents, as friends, as wives, husbands, what have you. Relationship stuff really seems to land. You know, I just recently did a podcast with my buddy Pete Corielli talking about our wives, and they're always
rich material.
Always good for jokes.
How do you say it ain't right? Say it for us.
It ain't right. So yeah, I think though, just talking about wives and relationships is definitely something. Right? My wife right now is always telling me, I'm overwhelmed. And it's one of the words I can't stand is overwhelmed. You know, yeah.
We're all going to have to strip that out of our vocabulary. I was saying that just 30 minutes ago. Speaking of your wife, speaking of family and Thanksgiving, you have some big Thanksgiving plans, I understand. You have 2 young kids now, but you're going to spend Thanksgiving with your wife's family, right? And did I hear that there's some rule that now, like, the kids' table has gone away? They're going to sit with the adults now?
I don't remember that either.
Yeah, let's bring the kids' table back. because now I'm sitting next to like a 4-year-old, and then the 4-year-old gets to go up first to get the food, and you know the 4-year-old's coming back with a drumstick, and I'm like, I was 35 years old when I first got a drumstick. So I'm not into this whole kids first. I think we're giving kids a little bit too much power nowadays.
I like this. You heard the Sebastian rules for Thanksgiving right here. Be sure to catch. How do I do it? It ain't right. I'm not going to try.
Ahead. Just whisper it.
It ain't right. It ain't right. On Hulu on Disney Plus starting tomorrow. Coming up, the new book taking a closer look at the 1995 interview between Princess Diana and the BBC's Martin Bashir. We hear from the author.
We're back now with the new book about the 1995 interview with Princess Diana that the BBC later apologized for, taking a closer look at the deception and the cover-up behind that meeting. Our chief international correspondent, James Longman, sat down with the author, Andy Webb. Hi, James. What a conversation here.
Hi, Whit. Yeah, it really was fascinating because the impact of Princess Diana's famous interview with the BBC 30 years ago is still being felt today. And a new book is lifting the lid on the conspiracy she was told in order to gain her confidence.
I was at the end of my tether.
It was an interview that changed the monarchy forever.
Well, there were 3 of us in this marriage.
Diana revealing her deepest concerns about her marriage and the monarchy. But not long after this interview aired in November 1995, questions were asked about how the BBC and Martin Bashir secured it. They were finally answered after filmmaker Andy Webb exposed Bashir.
The lies which Martin Bashir told are many and various.
An independent investigation commissioned by the BBC concluded Bashir had shown fake bank statements to Diana's brother, Charles Spencer, and that deception led to a meeting with Diana and then the interview.
What I've been able to do with the help of people like Diana's brother, Charles Spencer, her private secretary for 8 years, Patrick Jefferson, really tell a very, very important and somewhat terrifying historical story that simply hasn't been told before.
In his new book, Diana Rama, Webb details the extent of the lies Bashir told and the cover-up that followed.
Bashir had alleged that Prince Charles was hiring a hit team to have Diana murdered because Prince Charles, it was said by Bashir, was actually engaged in an affair with the nanny who had been hired by the couple to look after young William and Harry.
And Diana believed that?
We know that Diana did believe that.
It would have been the case, perhaps, that Bashir lied to her in order to get the interview, but at the same time, she gave it.
Well, yes, she did make it of her own free will. But at this point in her life, Diana knew for a fact that her phone had been tapped.
Diana's conversations with her boyfriend had already been leaked to the press, a reality Webb says Bashir used as a foundation for conspiracy theories.
Diana's brother, Charles Spencer, was in the room and carefully noted down these sorts of things. 32 separate claims he noted down. They do sound truly bizarre. One of them was that Bashir alleged that a young teenage Prince William had been given, he said, a watch which contained in it a secret mechanism in order to secretly bug conversations. Crazy.
What impact do you think this interview has had on William and Harry?
William watched the interview go out. He was 13 years old. He's watching his mum talk about how she had had sex with a boyfriend. It then moves on to Diana being encouraged to trash his dad, Prince Charles.
William publicly responded to the results of the BBC investigation.
It brings indescribable sadness to know that the BBC's failures contributed significantly to her fear, paranoia and isolation that I remember from those final years with her.
Harry also issued a statement condemning media malpractice.
Your revelations in this book make me think a little bit more about Harry and his protectiveness of Meghan.
When you look at what happened to his mum without adequate proper security, in fact ending up in the security embrace of a drunken car driver pursued by paparazzi, you begin to, oh yeah, I see what he may be getting at there.
Well, the BBC has apologised to the royal family and pledged to never run that interview again. Martin Bashir also apologised for forging the bank statements, but maintains they did not influence Diana. And this interview took place, remember, just 18 months before she died. Diana Rama is available wherever books are sold from Tuesday, guys.
All right, James, thank you so much. Coming up here, Deals and Steals. Tori has great gifts, everything $20 and under.
And we're back now with Deals and Steals, just $20 and under. Tori, let's get to it.
All right, so we're starting with Rocketbook. This is one of the easiest ways to keep all your notes in here. So you handwrite your notes in here with the pen that they provide. Then in the little QR code in the corner, you scan those notes.
No.
It all saves to their app. That's a free app that comes with your purchase. So then you get a digital copy of your handwritten notes. It's so smart for all ages, from young students to artists to older people.
Reporters.
Yes,
it's a game changer for reporters.
And all the pages are reusable, and all of the options 50% off. Everything's under $20.
Love it.
So smart.
Done.
All right, this is about gifting yourself, I think, a little support. We got a big option, a big assortment of options from Playtex. Size inclusive, everything's designed for extreme all-day comfort, as well as support. Huge assortment you'll find online, up to 64% savings plus free shipping from Playtex. All right, if you are hosting or being hosted, all of these options from Et2 Home are fabulous. I know Whit loves a little home goods action.
Yeah, little razzle-dazzle.
Like pinch pots, which are great for olives, nuts, salt. We've got these little boards here with the spreaders that are great gifts. These little vases are fabulous. They elevate any tablescape. All of the options, half price, all 20 and under. Okay, forget the filler. This is Lawless. This is my absolute favorite lip gloss line. It's plumping, but without the sting. So there's no sting. Malibu Sugar's my favorite. We also have these really great blurring blushes. This is the line that is beloved from teens to glamours. The colors are fabulous. The products are even better. Everything's half price, under $15 for all of it.
We'll try it on Whit.
So I like the plump without the sting.
So this is one of the easiest ways to be able to hold your phone. So like if we're taking selfies or you're just carrying it with convenience, we also have a really great, there's a MagSafe wallet that goes right onto your phone. They're the originators in this category. If they've got a phone, get them a pop socket. They start at $5.
I love the
and then
wallet, too.
Bling Sting, you attach this for extra personal safety. It emits a loud sound if the button is pressed, which we're not going to do. And this is just great to be able to clip onto keychains. They're adorable, and they're $10 to $11 with our deal.
Amazing. And Tori, what else do we need to know?
Wow, we got our GMA windows,
right?
50% off every brand in our window. We've got those Sponge Gel body buffers. We've got the No-Show Invisisocks plus 47 other brands, all half price.
I walked by it the other day. It was really cool. Come visit.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tori. We've partnered with these companies, of course, and these great products. You can get them at GMAdeals.com. And of course, thank you always, Tori.
Thank you
for
guys.
being
Can we hit the button now?
No. Can we try the lip gloss now?
And thanks so much for watching, everybody.
Now, can we try the lip gloss?
Yes, there's plenty of time.
Good for you. Have a great day. See you later, everyone.